Welcome to Campaholics.
I'm Christy.
I'm Mandy.
And I'd rather be camping.
All right, guys. Welcome back to Campaholics.
Hello.
Hello. We hope you are furthering your camp addiction. That's all we want for you. So
Yeah, never stop camping.
exactly. Today we are going to talk about campground camping versus dispersed camping.
Yes, there is a difference.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. If you don't know the term boondocking, it is a real term. It's basically when you camp dispersed. You're not at a designated campground, so you are a boondocker.
Boondocker. I like it.
Camping off the land.
I feel like we need some t-shirts.
Yeah, I'm a true boondocker. Don't bother me. I'm boondocking.
Yeah, so I think, when you talk about planning and figuring out where you're going and all that stuff for your trip, this is kind of the start of it, right? Because it will even modify what you're packing.
Yeah.
For example, the biggest difference for me as a tent camper is restrooms.
Yeah.
Right? If I go to a campground, I have facilities with some version of a toilet.
Right, exactly.
But when you're dispersed or boondocking, right, you need the shovel and you're going to have to walk out there and dig the hole and just go be one with Mother Nature.
You need to find a good lean-to because that's going to be your best friend.
Yeah, it's so funny. I hadn't gone camping for a few months because it was off season. It was too cold for me. And then when we were going in May, it was my first trip in a while, right, in a couple months. And I was like, I should do some squats because I am out of shape.
That is so funny. Oh my goodness.
So you got to plan for that.
Hey, we could start a fitness program for campers. I mean, this is a real thing.
What would you call?
I don't know. How about oh man. We're going to have to think about a name. The Forest Fitness Plan or
Forest
something.
Fitness?
Yeah.
Yeti yoga?
Oh, that's a good one. Are you Yeti ready? So yeah, talking about planning, if you are going to do campground, you definitely have to plan ahead. So when Brian and the kids and I wanted to go to Yellowstone a few years ago, we were reserving almost a year out spots. We didn't know this was a thing, but it's called the Midnight Club. And you stay up till midnight, exactly 1 year before you're going, and the campground sites are released to book.
I just can't believe. I mean, I'm really happy to hear that there's that many people who want to go camping, but a year? I thought I was being crazy planning my last trip 9 months in advance.
Yeah, and since then they have changed it. I think a lot of places are either 6 or 9 months. I know state parks are 6 months right now, but at the time it was a year. And even if we wanted to eat at the Yellowstone restaurant, if you didn't have reservations 12 months ahead of time, you weren't eating.
Oh my gosh.
So we were okay, well, we were too late on that because it had already been, we had reserved our spots, but we didn't look into the other specific places where we were going until later. But anyways, so check reservations. I know Arizona State Parks, it's 6 months. Other states might be different for time frames, but yeah, you need to plan ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even if you're dispersed or boondocking, you kind of have to plan ahead too, at least where we go up on the rim. If you aren't first there or you haven't dropped your trailer or tent like some rude people, then you're not getting a spot.
Yeah.
So Brian and I have kind of designated ourselves as the spot finders when we disperse camp, and we try to go up a night or two ahead of everybody so we can get a nice big group spot.
Yeah.
Because I just don't like camping on top of other campers I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly. No, and you guys always find some really good spots, always.
Thanks. Well, we do now have a magnet that says, I'm sorry for what I said when we were parking the trailer. Because it's true. It's not always the easiest process. But if you can park a trailer and camp together, then you're going to be together for a while.
Yeah. So. Those who camp together stay together.
Yeah. And that's kind of something when you're at campgrounds and you're the next one to show up. especially with the trailer, everybody's watching you. Like,
Yeah.
have they done this before? Oh, look at them. Oh, they're communicating well. They're not. They're fighting,
Well,
you know?
I feel like I have the same judgmental eyes on me about setting up a tent. Like, for one, I have to do it in less than 20 minutes, and I can't use any curse words. Like, Jesus. Like, there's a lot of restrictions here.
I know. It's like all eyes are on you. So.
Yeah. Yeah. But you guys always help me with my tent, which is nice. So I had to do it by myself in Washington, right?
Yeah.
Because Reese is too short.
True. It's kind of like, it's like, probably I'm thinking when you have grandkids, like they're not your kids. So you can kind of give them back when it starts to get like annoying and messy. So, we're like, let's help Christy with her tent. Oh, okay. Things aren't going great. Let's just kind of go back to our own spot. No, definitely help each other out. So some pros and cons and differences between campgrounds and dispersed. There's so many. So like, right, you've got, if you're in a trailer, you have hookups. Easy, awesome.
Yeah.
If you're dispersed camping, you don't have hookups. But something that we have done since getting our trailer is Brian's converted our trailer to solar. And at first I'm like, I don't know, is this really going to work? Is it going to be worth it? It's worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially when you're camping with other tent campers. Like, I always hated being the annoying one, like, turn the generator on so we can get some coffee or whatever.
Right.
You're like so loud and you're breathing in all these fumes. Now with solar, we can like run almost anything without having to start the generator. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. We appreciate you. We appreciate charging your Apple phone.
Yeah, it's nice. I having a trailer around.
Yeah. But that's another thing to look at when you are reserving at a campground is what kind of amenities do you want and do you need? Even as a tent camper, like you were saying, do they have showers? Is it a pay shower thing or is it part of your campsite fee? So there's so many different things.
Yeah. Some of those bathrooms.
Yeah, I know.
Some are nice, but the other ones I'm like, can I just go outside, please?
Yeah.
I'd rather just walk outside.
Yeah, it's like a horror story. Oh, man.
I remember one spot in, I think it was California, along the coast. You could take a shower there, but it was, I don't know, something ridiculous, like 25 cents got you something like 10 seconds of water. Yeah. And then they tell you, right, there's all these signs posted saying like, you can shower here for about $30, but careful because the water is contaminated.
Oh my gosh.
Well, why would I pay for contaminated water?
Shower at your own risk.
I'm not that brave.
Oh man.
I brought wipes, I'll take a wipey shower.
At that point, you might as well just go swimming in the lake and call it good.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So campgrounds, I mean, they have rules. Sometimes that can be a good thing or a bad thing. I know camping with a pet, like I appreciate, other people that have pets and being mindful, keeping them on a leash and stuff. But then again, it's like, I love dispersed camping because we can let Ranger kind of roam and have her space and not have to worry about her bothering other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so like lighting at a campground, sometimes those light posts stay on all night and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't sleep.
I can like hear people in the bathroom.
Yes.
I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah. So that's like the beauty of camping dispersed is like, it's quieter, it's darker. Yeah. It's just, I don't know.
And it feels, I don't know. It just feels like you're actually out further and like away and
you're
unplugged.
Actually getting away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because half of that, right, is we do a lot of peopling, and I don't want to people anymore. I don't want to see people I don't want to see. Right. You know what I mean? So it's just like I want to go far enough out where I'm only going to be seeing people either driving by or the people I came with.
Exactly. I hear ya. But a cool thing about camping at a campground is sometimes they have those cute little camp stores. I know we talked about that in one of our other meetings. But
we
those
get all
are
our
fun.
stickers.
I know. You get fun, cool gear that you really don't need, but it's like super fun.
And sometimes those camp hosts are really great. Like we ran across a couple that were really nice and like they had chalk so like the kids could be drawing on the sidewalk. And some of them are really just fun people. You could tell they really enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that is one thing about the campground, especially if you're not used to camping. I'd say start at the campgrounds and work your way up to the boondocking level.
I agree. I agree. Because there's somebody there that probably knows, like, if you run into an issue and they can help you work through it.
Yeah, there's someone there 24 hours a day, so it's like you'll never be out there alone.
Yeah. And to that point, like when we were camping at one of our spots when we went to Yellowstone a couple years back, we were actually camping in Gardner, Montana. It was just north of the entrance of Yellowstone. And the we went on a rafting trip.
Ooh.
And the raft guide was like, hey, if you guys really want to see a ton of grizzly bears, go here, do this. And we were like, let's try it out. We didn't have much to do the next day. So the kids and Brian and I, we went and drove there. Sure enough, as soon as like the sun was setting, like tons of grizzly bears came out and started digging in the ground. They must have been like eating roots or something. We were like, this is amazing. And there was like a whole line of cars like videotaping and taking pictures. And we're like, we wouldn't have experienced that if it wasn't for like a host or a guide.
Yeah.
So they're a wealth of information.
They are. Some of them are a little weird.
Yeah. When I was little once, I will never forget this. I was probably like 4 or 5 camping with my large family, and the ranger came by to our campsite. And I had just picked like the tiniest little wildflower.
Oh my god!
And I was like a little kid, like, oh, look, mommy, a flower. And he was like, little girl, you shouldn't be picking the wildflowers out here. You're destroying the landscape. And I was just like,
oh my gosh.
What the heck? Like, my mom was like, it's fine, whatever. And I'm like, seriously, people. Anyway.
I know. I'm that weirdo that I'm like, don't pick the flowers. But you know me, I'm like an environmentalist at heart.
Yeah. No, I mean, if I had like a whole basket of them.
Well,
and,
and exactly. Like and if I were that guy, I would have walked up and I would have been like, that's beautiful, but this is the only one you can take because, right? And like make it you don't have to like berate somebody for picking a flower.
That's right.
Inform them.
Yeah. So when he left, I stomped all over the other ones. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey, take that.
No, I would never do that. I respect the forest.
I love that.
Yeah. So lots of differences. Water is a big thing. Like campgrounds generally have water.
Yeah.
They usually have, well, depending on the campground you're at, you can either hook directly into water with the trailer, or there's like the gray water spigot that's available to anybody. So you can fill up your own water jug and whatnot for that gray water.
I like it too because they usually have a sign that says like no washing here. Like this is not a shower. Like, and it's sad that they have to say that, but there's a sign that was like do not wash yourself.
Keep your clothes on. No.
Yeah, I'm like, again, I mean, really though, I don't want to see someone scrubbing their armpits at the same place where I go to like wash my dishes.
Exactly, or brush your teeth.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't need that.
Not a cool vibe. But then it's also nice if you're dispersed camping. So a lot of times we'd go up near Woods Canyon, and we did a ton of dispersed camping there. But we knew there were a couple local little campground loops by that did provide that gray water. So we knew when we ran out, we could just run up there with the vehicle with our jug and just refill as needed. So that was nice.
That is good.
Yeah. So again, restrictions come with campgrounds. Like you might not be able to have a campfire, or it might say like propane only. I don't know about you, but those little propane fire pits just don't do it for me when I'm camping.
It's not the same.
I want to throw wood on. I want to just smell like a campfire.
Yeah.
So that's my goal.
I want like those little snaps of wood flying out at me. I want my life in danger. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Oh man. Oh. So
yeah. Well, you can't even roast marshmallows over those propane ones. Like it's gonna taste terrible.
When you're on like a big road trip, like we were just on to Washington, it was nice to have the campgrounds because you knew you had a spot waiting for you. So you weren't like, oh my goodness, am I going to find something? When am I going to find something? Because even now, like when we disperse camp, if we don't go up early enough, there's been times that we've driven around for hours and hours looking for a site.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, I mean, this is like a legit concern when you go camping.
It really is. You gotta be first out there.
Yeah. I mean, but these are the concerns I want in life. Instead of like, oh, I'm late to work or this or that. It's like I want to
my taxes. Yeah.
I just want to be looking for a campsite and firewood. I mean,
I can handle that.
Exactly. So, like talking about that, our next camp trip what will we be doing? Where will we be camping?
I think, aren't we going up on the rim again?
Boondocking. That's
yeah, right. With a new equipment. I have some new
Yeah.
stuff to test out.
Definitely. That'll be awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So yeah, what else do we have for Campground versus Dispersed? I'm sure everybody has some crazy stories. There was this one KOA campground we were staying at up north. This thing was pretty awesome. Like, it was big. It was really well put together. It was a little crowded, but it was fine for what it was the weekend. But I mean, they had a little train running through the camp, picking up the kids, like, let's go, toot toot. And I was like, I think my one cousin was like, does Amazon deliver here? And I'm thinking,
my gosh.
Like, why do you need Amazon deliver here? But it was a really cool, well put together campground.
That's awesome.
Yeah, most of the sites had their own fire pit. They had benches and your own patio. So it was glorious.
Yeah, well, you just reminded me of something that's, at a campground, if there's bears in the area, they typically provide a bear box for you to put your food into or your coolers. But when you're dispersed camping, you don't have a bear box, right? Or anything.
It's called your car.
Yeah. Which I'm not really great at. I mean, when we go, I've never, outside of timber camp, I don't think I've ever.
Yeah. We went to Yellowstone for our honeymoon. It was like the third or fourth night there. We were at a different campground inside the park. And at the time, we had this little tiny truck. So we had our tent and our coolers. We had 2 pretty big coolers. And in the middle of the night, somebody was shaking our tent. We were like, what is going on? And the ranger was like, you guys need to wake up and put your coolers inside the cab of your truck, because they were just in the bed. We didn't realize like the bears, and that was not a good thing. And so we were like in the middle of the night shoving 2 coolers in each side of the door of the truck, and we got them in. And it was a good thing, because like the night before, like a grizzly bear had gone through the campground. We were like, okay, we learned our lesson. If there's a bear box, we need to either put it in it or inside our truck.
Yeah.
But there are, like you're saying, there's different levels of campground too. There's definitely more like, I would say, so like you have like timber camp. It's a campground, but it's not usually regulated.
Yeah.
So it has designated campsites, bear boxes if you're available. It's kind of like a first come first serve thing.
And I do like that one because you can collect firewood there, right? Like that's the one where we can walk around and I do like that.
Yeah, we can play frisbee golf across the creek in the back.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more relaxed as far as rules.
Yeah.
There's generally not a host there like keeping tabs on everything. But then there's like the campgrounds where there's a host 24/7. They're going around on a golf cart. They're making sure you're parking within your side. I mean, do we need to talk about Susan that was up by Mingus Mountain?
She was
a firecracker. I kind of had to get between Brian and her at that moment. I'm like, whoa. So we were trying to save a campsite for our cousins that were coming, and we paid for it. We paid for the first come first serve. So we put our vehicle there. But since we didn't have like the tent or the camper there, she was saying we could not do that. And I'm like, we paid for it. We were here.
Yeah, why does it matter?
Yeah. So anyways, thankfully our cousins came, got the spot, but it was just a big ordeal that didn't need to happen.
Yeah, some of those hosts need to relax. Like, we're camping.
Yeah.
We're not saving lives out
I
here.
know.
It's going to be fine.
I know. Oh, man. Go back to your camper and eat a Pop-Tart. We're good.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, like even at the campground, they usually have a little store. You can get your ice right there. They'll give you a map of the area, sometimes brochures of things to do. So it really depends on like what kind of camping you're going to do. Are you just going to have a place to stay where then you can kind of explore the area? Or do you want to just stay put one place and just relax, which I actually prefer the dispersed camping, but I also see the benefits of the campground camping too.
Yeah. Yeah. I like them both, but I also think dispersed is the way to go.
Same.
Especially because I have a new kitchen I want to try.
I know. And really, when you get into like those 4-hour Liverpool rummy games and you don't feel like,
gosh, yeah.
oh, I have a rafting trip to make or I have to do this,
Right.
like it's way more relaxed. It's like,
is.
hold on, guys, I need to go get my Cheetos. So let's take a break. And
Yeah, my favorite thing is we don't look at the time. Like,
yes,
we just do what we want when we want. If you're hungry, you eat. If you're not, you don't. If you want to nap, you nap.
That's right.
Yeah, very low pressure.
So yeah, maybe we should put a poll up too, like if people prefer campground versus dispersed camping. So we'd love to hear from you guys if you know what you guys prefer on that.
Yeah, tell us why. You can reach out on our Instagram and Facebook. You can also email us at I'd Rather Be Camping. That's with a K at gmail.com. Reach out on our website.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll see you at the next meeting.
Yeah, hang tight and get ready for your next trip.
See ya.
Bye.